shading regions. So the first region, x has to be less than or equal to 7. So we draw a line up where x equals 7. And if it has to be less than, we need to be this side of the line. X plus y equals 6, try some values. So if x is 0, y has to be 6. If x is 6, y has to be 0. And if, say, x was 2, y would be 4. If x was 4, y would have to be 2. Because when I add them together, they have to make 6. Now, x plus y has to be bigger than 6, so that has to be that side of the line. Same principle with this one. Try some x values. I'm going to use x equals 2, 4, and 6. So my y values will be 2 divided by 2 is 1, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So when x equals 2, y was 1. When x equals 4, y is 2. And when x equals 6, y is 3. Join those three up as well. And we have to be below that line because y has to be less, so this is the region that we shade in. Show that the base is equal to that. So the base is 2x plus 6 times by x, and it tells us that that's equal to 59 because it's the length times the width. Expand this bracket, 2x squared plus 6x equals 59. Take the 59 over, 2x squared plus 6x minus 59 equals 0. Quadratic formula for the next one. Hint is in the fact that it says give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. So x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. A in this case is 2, b is 6, and c is minus 59. So x equals minus 6 plus or minus the square root of 6 squared minus 4 times 2 times minus 59, all divided by 2 times 2. So we end up with x being equal to minus 6 plus the square root of 508 divided by 2, or x equals minus 6 minus the square root of 508 all divided by 2. This one gives us a solution of 7.13, I think, and this one gives you a solution of x equals minus 4 point something. Hence, calculate the volume of the box. So we can't have a minus length, so we're going to use this value here, which is our positive solution, because that is the only one that can actually be a length. It's obviously impossible to have a negative length. And then we're going to use the 2x plus 6 is one of the dimensions, times that by x, times that by x minus 3. So we're going to multiply all three of these parts together, and then we will get our solution. So when x equals 7.13, we get 7.13 times 2 plus 6, so we get 20.26 as a one dimension, times by 7.13 on its own, times by 7.13 minus 3, which is 4.13, and then we times those three together on the calculator, and we get a solution of 596.59 as the volume of the box. Question 12. So the area of ABD is 16.2, so we can use that the formula of the area is a half AB sine C on this triangle. So we know that the area is equal to a half times 7.3 times by x, which is going to be this line here, times the sine of 42. So we rearrange this. So first of all, we can do a half. So we can work out a half times by 7.3 times by the sine of 42. So we find that the area, which is 16.2, is equal to 2.44 times by x. If we take that over and divide, we find that 6.6 is equal to x. So we now know this side here is 6.6. To find BCD, we can now use the sine rule, as we have that matching pair and we also have a matching pair here. So remember, change what we're looking for to be A. So this becomes A now, B is okay, and we don't need C. So I now have sine A divided by A equals sine B divided by B. Sine A is what I'm trying to find. A is that 6.6 we've just worked out. Sine B is obviously the sine of 28, and B is the 3.6. Take the 6.6 up and multiply, so I get sine A equals sine of 28 times 6.6 divided by 3.6. Type that into the calculator. And do the shift sine function, and you get 59.4 degrees as your answer. If you've rounded at different points, you might get a slightly different answer. Sketch the graph of y equals sine of x. So any trig graph, we plot the points 90, 180, 270, and obviously it says up to 360. If you're not sure what the values are, type it on your calculator. Sine 0 comes out as 0. Sine 90 comes out at 1. Sine 180 is 0, sine 270 is minus 1, and sine 360 is 0 again. And then we're just drawing the curve. It is only a sketch, so it doesn't need to be too accurate. Find all the solutions to the following equations. So the first thing you do on your calculator is you do shift sine of minus 0.829 to get the first answer. So that comes out at minus 55.99, which is basically 56. We draw a line across at minus 0.8. Again, it's all sketch work, and we can draw a line up from here, and we can draw a line up from here. Now, this 56 is representative of the distance between 180 and that line, and also the distance between 360 and that line. So our two solutions are 180 plus that 56 difference, which is 236, and 360 minus that 56, which will give us 304, and they're the two solutions. So the volume of the complete box is 245. So the volume of the base is pi r squared h. And for that we get pi times by r squared times by, now the height of this here is 5.4. The volume of the cone is a third pi r squared h. So in our case it's a third times by pi times by r squared times by, and the h of this is 4.2. Work these two parts out as much as you can, so you're just left with something r squared. So on the top, so the total volume then is 245. Now that of these two added together, the top one, if I work out pi times 5.4, I end up with 16.96 r squared left. And then plus, do the same down here, so I'm going to multiply a third by pi by 4.2. And I get 4.39 r squared. So in total, I can add these r squareds together, and I get 21.35 r squared. Divide by 21.35, and I find out what just r squared is. So I get that 11.47 is my r squared. If I square root 11.47, I find r. So I get that 3.4 to 1 decimal place, as it asks, equals r.